Better relationship with the suppliers. That's very, very important. Suppliers and the OEM are like brothers. When they say that no, 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 you are supplying me, you are, I can go with any, then that trust is not there. You cannot push. The moment he finds alternative OEM, he will go there. How do we establish better relationship? Visibility. The last thing which is of interest to us is better cash management. How can I free up anything that is piled up, anything that is not needed? How do I make this lean so that the cash, free cash is available for me? These are the benefits if we use the adaptive intelligence. Now, if you look at what exactly the adaptive intelligence cycle is, now if you look at, as I told you, descriptive analytics and diagnostic analysis already you may be doing. You may be generating some reports, you may be generating some dashboards, you may be having some rule-based system, or expert is there to diagnose why the sales was down, why the inventory price went up, why the raw material price went up, why this product is not moving. There may be somebody who is doing that diagnosis. But this is not adoption. We are not learning anything new. The moment we introduce some learning in all these systems, it becomes adaptive. You have to predict and you have to prescribe. Only diagnosis system, what will you do with that? Only descriptive system, what will you do with that? You need an SME. SME has got limited memory and he cannot remember what happened 10 years ago, record by record. But systems can recommend that. He can evaluate that. He need not have to remember anything. He has to tell the system, tell me what has happened, when I succeeded, when I failed, what are the best thing that in this case, in this problem, what's the best thing that I have to do? When the prescriptive analytics gives that, he can evaluate, and that is the change that we are looking at for the people who are in adaptive intelligence. Now, if we go next, the spectrum, where is the value? So in fact, already you may be doing these two, the reporting and analysis. Maybe already you have Six Sigma, you may have Lean, you may have all those things, but they are all historical analysis. What you need is the real-time monitoring. A lot of people tell me that, no, 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 I'm a discrete manufacturing industry, I don't need it. Already I have IoT, everything is good. But from real-time monitoring, are you taking actions? How much improvement is happening from time to time? Next is predictive. In future, what is likely to happen? Can you anticipate it now? Don't just predict. Anticipate it to happen, and that is adoption. And for anticipation, you should have your game plan. That is prescription. Can the prescription come? What are the prescription? If you have not done anything, you have enough lead time, 3 months lead time to test. If that happens, what is the thing that I have to do? That war game is what adaptive intelligence tells you. It makes you, trains you. So that's what you should adopt. What is needed? What are the components that are needed for adaptive intelligence? The first of the component that is needed for adaptive intelligence is continuous intelligence. A lot of people think that, okay, monthly once I will get a report, let me see that, otherwise I will be duped into operations. Nothing wrong being in operations. But like Einstein said, you cannot solve the problems from the same level where it is created. You have to move up. Or you have to move to a different level. Then only you can see the problem and solve the problem. You can see the problem once you collect the continuous intelligence. All of this is not mandatory, but good to have. Advanced analytics. So you must use predictive and prescriptive analytics. Normally we say that, now we have even changed it from reactive to proactive to anticipatory. Actually, it is like a cat waiting for the rat to come out of the, its box. It waits, it plays with the mouse and then kills the mouse and eats it. And that is anticipation. So any adaptive intelligence should give you the anticipatory intelligence. This is likely to happen. This is plan A, plan B, plan C. If this happens, this is plan A, plan B, plan C. When it gives, as a subject matter expert, as a domain expert, you can select what is best based on certain dynamics, because all said and done, we humans are emotional. So I do not want to be so mechanical. I'm okay with being emotional. That's a good thing. Next is impact analysis. If I do this, what is likely to happen with respect to cost, with respect to revenue, with respect to X, Y, Z, what is likely to happen? As I told you, scenario modeling, you should test it, and collaborative response. It should not be only I know, no others should know. No, that is not the way. It is let everybody know we are living in an ecosystem. I am not an independent silo. It's an ecosystem. In the ecosystem, collaborate. Your vendors will do, your customers will do, your distributors will do, your retailers will do. Everybody will be collectively responsible for upgradation of the ecosystem. Raise the bar, raise the bar, raise the bar. When somebody opened up a taxi faring system and said that earlier I used to pay to go from here to my son's swimming pool, I used to pay 25 rupees. Now, even now, I will pay 30 rupees if I go without booking. But if I book and go, it is 95 rupees. There is no collaboration. There is no honesty. Where I cannot find it there. So I can see it. Actually, they call it as wealth creation. For me, it is not. Collaborative response is actual barring up. You're raising the bar, and that's what has to come. And adaptive intelligence provides that, because it says that you have nothing, your customer has everything, go and ask him. When the company is so tight-minded, it says, no, I won't talk to customer. Like Ford said, anybody can take any color as long as it is black. Ford is gone. It's gone out of India. We want colors. If I want yellow, red and black in the same car, if you give it, I will tell 10 people, this company is very good. They will give you a car you like. But you tell me you take what I have? No, it's not a monopoly market anymore. It must be collaboration. And these are the components of adaptive intelligence. What is needed? How do we do this? The first thing that is needed is data. Multi-source, multi-structured, in batch or real time, doesn't matter. Lot of people tell me I don't have data. No, if you are running business, you have data. If you are giving salary, if you are selling something, if you are purchasing something, you have enough data in supply chain to start by improving it by 1%, 2%, 3%, 10%. There is impossible not to have the data. Maybe there is some interest where we are telling don't collect the data. Let us give, there is no data. That mindset has to change. In fact, for me, that mindset itself shows there is evidence that these people are not ready for adapting intelligence. Adaptive intelligence comes with people ask questions. They respect each other. I don't hate you personally, but when somebody says that I have data, but I don't give you, I know that I should not be talking to you. I should be talking to your boss. I should be talking to your CEO. So if CEO says that no, he is right, I don't give the data, it is okay if my company is not making profit. What I can do? Our interest is very, very important. Important in the sense that if there is no really genuinely, if there is no data, it can be done. We can collect it. If data is there, we can use it. Then the second component, lot of people assume that AI replaces that, AI replaces this, AI replaces nothing. Trust me, I'm in this field for 25 years. Nothing has replaced me. In fact, I'm waiting. When the artificial intelligence will replace? No, it will not replace. The fear of the people that they will be replaced will make them blind. And they become underperformers and they will be replaced. The moment, this is what AI does. Let me teach you how to control AI. You are the person who is needed there. Your expertise, your experience, your knowledge, your reasoning, and the way you present it is what is needed. You can control AI. Next, AI is all blah, 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 blah. You can read any blog and you can get this. Cognitive reasoning, how we think, we want to bring that here. Machine learning, just give me data, give me what happened in the past, I will give you rules. I don't need your rules. Now what is happening? You want to order something, you will compute some EOQ formula and then you decide. I don't need that. Give me what is the data and tell me in this scenario what you have purchased in the past. I will tell you what is EOQ. I can give you an EOQ formula using my neural network. That is artificial intelligence. It learns from data. And this, when combined together, synchronized to give evidence for every action you are taking, and it is interactive. Sometimes it is automated, because if it is machine to machine, why one machine has to explain other machine why decision has been taken? Just it says that this is the condition, this is the decision, you execute it. But when human machine interface is there, interactiveness is very important. I do not want a system to tell me which is the next video I have to watch. I do not want somebody, some AI system to tell me, you purchase this product. You purchase this product at 10 times the market price. But if it tells me why, and if I agree with that, I may take it. If I don't agree with that, why should I? We want explainable intelligence, and that is adaptive intelligence. This is what is needed. This is how we do it. What you get? You get dashboards. Normally, we want smart dashboards. We do not want 500 KPIs. In fact, when somebody says 500 KPIs, you know that they have spent enough money to build some fancy thing. Never, never, never. In fact, domain is running that business, SME is running that business without any dashboard. With the dashboard, his productivity should be increased by at least 50%. If not, the dashboard is not useful. Just give him predictive information. In fact, I always check in the dashboard how many of the lead metrics you have. When a company has 50 to 70% lead metrics, I know that these guys know adaptive intelligence. When somebody says, no, I don't have adaptive intelligence and all, I'm taking everything and giving this as pie chart, line chart, then dashboard charts, blah, blah, blah. Good, 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 very good. But there is nothing. It is historic. It is post-mortem. Learn from it. Try to predict something. Get the lead. So you need lead metrics, not lag metrics. Then statistical controls. I don't trust any human controls unless it is validated. We want everything to be statistically controlled. Next is rule-based analytics. You domain experts have rules. They have implicit idea how it should run. In fact, my colleague and I were in one of the cement plants. The operations manager said, he called the employee and he said, look, there is some problem in this, go and check. We asked how. No, by listening, I can see the sound is different. They have that. They have that capability. And that has to be implemented in the system. Next is what we call as machine learning. Machine learning is deriving something which we don't know. These are all the things I know. This is what I don't know. This is where the cash is frozen. This is where you free up the money. This is where you do that. So machine learning is pattern recognition. What patterns I didn't know exist in my data, which is holding my money. This is what should come. Next, very important thing, if it is adaptive, is self-learning. Self-learning is adoption. It detects anomalies. In fact, you can feel that the processes and control, if it is in plus or minus x bar plus or minus 3 sigma. But actually, the moment it moves from x plus or minus 0.2 sigma, the shift has happened. Can it be detected? That is anomaly detection. I do not want something to move beyond the upper limit, then tell me it has crossed the upper limit. It is like the security is there. He said that you never told me to catch the thief. He went inside the home. Do you like to have such a kind of security? We call adaptive intelligence is detection of anomalies. Small anomalies, which is likely to become big. In fact, we had a lesson called as neglected spark burns the house. Never neglect anomalies. Any anomaly is to be looked into. If already domain knowledge is there, how to address that? It is very easy. If it is not, dangerous thing is already lurking inside. The process shift has happened. What do we do? Now every auto wala may ask in the supply chain, he may ask that you are giving 90 rupees for the app vendor, but you are not ready to give me 45 rupees. Now they ask 45 rupees should be the base. That is not wealth creation. Wealth creation is the moment somebody did it, we should be in a position to say even 10 rupee increase in a range of 100 is not acceptable. In the sense, we may allow, that's a different thing. Government may say, yes, that is the thing. People may agree to pay, that's a different thing. But has that shift observed? If the shift is not observed, it is not adaptive. And with all these things under the control of human, the knowledge is amplified. We discussed that. We will increase the domain knowledge. The knowledge will be amplified. This is what we are looking at when you adopt the intelligence. How do we apply this to supply chain? Actually, devil is in the detail. If we look at supply chain analytics, We are looking at entire supply chain visibility from predictive to prescriptive. If it is not there, it is not. That is where the cash is frozen. What are the exceptions? What is the exception that has happened? What is the anomaly that has happened? Can you tell me? Can you give me procurement visibility? Can you give me manufacturing visibility? Can you give me distribution visibility? Can you give me fulfillment or procurement visibility? And these are the things which where the devil is sitting in. It is humanly very difficult. You can bring it to some level, 10%, but trust me, if you use adaptive intelligence, yes. Yes, please.
No problem, you can go ahead.
Okay. So I have seen you may improve it by 10% by some re-engineering and adapting some way. Normally we adapt any fat that comes now, right? It can be TQM, it can be TPM, it can be TOC, it can be AI, it can be adaptive intelligence. I don't think adaptive intelligence is panacea. It is another fad, right? But the content is this. So if you can do this, these can detect where the money is frozen, where there is dead investment. And that is what we would like to detect. We are not there yet. We are not there. Hardly we are touched procurement and to some level, some kind of fulfillment. Only this. Others we are not in a position to do it because there is no visibility or availability of the data itself. But this is the entire supply chain analytics or the adaptive analytics which is possible with the data you have. Where is the maturity? If this is the case, if this is supply chain, analytics or the adaptive intelligence, where is it? Inactive. Nobody, they don't know what is happening, but reactive. When somebody says that the driver has not come for this track, they will call the driver, they get it some outside and they will do that. It is reactive. The proactive is you try to think that, okay, next month 10 drivers are not likely to be there. So I had to have 10 additional drivers in their place as a consultant or possibly outsource resource. Get them and do that. It's proactive. You are prepared. Optimized. You will try to say what is the route? How can we do this? What is the best distribution plan? How do we do that? Is optimized. For me, most of the companies are between reactive and proactive, not exactly proactive. If you call this as 1, 2 and 3, they are between 2 and 3. It may be somewhere around 2.5. Even reaching 3 may take time. Reaching 4 takes time. Time not in the implementation, things like that. In the sense, they don't have mindset, they don't have data set. Combining these two, because Peter Drucker used to say, the culture of the company will eat the strategy for breakfast. You bring any strategy, beautiful strategy. If the culture is not there in the company to be data driven, to be evidence driven, to be committed, to be professional, the strategy will be killed. Adaptive intelligence is a strategy. You can use it in silos and get some increments, but if you want to adapt it enterprise wise, it's a different thing. So that's why we always suggest go with inventory first, then go towards vendor management, then go towards manufacturing, then move towards customer service or the reverse logistics, then go towards logistics. So go incrementally, because people most of the time, all said and done, are resistant to change. It is going to change, right? Whether they like it or not, it's going to change. But what we are suggesting is, if you do it, you are changing. Nobody is going to change. You are not removed. Nothing happens. That's what we have viewed. What are the use cases? If these are the things, what is that we have done so far? One of the, in fact, these are some of the use cases that we can look at in planning. Can you do demand forecasting? How good you are? Will you allow champion challenger model? Just ask yourself. If you are not allowing champion challenger model, you are protecting. Actually, you are the king cobra which is protecting that Nagamani. That is the problem. Everyone, including me, if I don't speak to you freely like this, and if you don't condemn me, this is not the way. I'm open. Can you show this? Can you demonstrate you are superior to what you are doing? That is the kind of thing when you go for champion challenger model. Demand forecasting, plan compliance analysis. How many times the deviation happened? Why deviation happened? Can I predict that deviation is likely to happen and make the checklist now and make sure that it will not be non-compliant? Rationalization. Which of the products are really moving, which are not moving? Right? Fast moving, slow moving, non-moving. Right? can I rationalize it? Do we really need non-moving items when there is no demand for that? It is like having bell-bottom pants. That will be used only in movies. When they are going for retro movies, they will use the pant. Otherwise, who will wear bell-bottom pant now? Next is sourcing. Supply risk assessment. In fact, for me, it's like crypto. No, I never trusted crypto, because if crypto is like a steam which is not there at all. If steam is there, if I condense it, it becomes water. But it is very hot and I cannot condense it. Where is the commodity, underlying commodity? There is no underlying commodity. It's only trust. If the trust is hijacked, your entire lifetime savings is gone.
Hello.
So I really don't know. Yes.
Sorry, sir, disturb you in between, but I
Yeah.
would like to know that what is the champion? You are saying that champion challenger model.
Yeah.
And, second one is that plan compliance analysis. Can you please elaborate more on it?
Okay, so now let us say demand forecasting you are doing, right? You are developing your forecasting system using time series analysis like ARIMA or possibly Holt Winters or possibly neural network. It is giving 80% accuracy. Okay, now do you want to, if you do it without that, it will be 70% accuracy. Which will you use? 80% or 70%?
Can you please slow? Actually, sorry. Can you please repeat? Sorry.
Now you have a forecasting system.
Okay.
And you are trying to forecast using 3-month average. It is giving 70% accuracy. With 6-month average, it is giving 80% accuracy.
Yeah, obviously we will go for the 80%.
Right. Now a neural network will come and tell, I will give you 85% accuracy.
That's great.
So will you use neural network? Will you say, no, I have already finalized it. I cannot go back. I have given my word.
No. We will definitely improve that 85%. We should.
That exactly is champion challenger model. So you compare two models, whichever is the champion, you have taken that.
Right.
The 3-month average was the champion first. See, 6-month average model came and challenged it, and you found that 6-month average model is 75%, 80%. You chosen that as the new champion. It is like boxing champions only. It's like IPL champions only. Who is the champion this year may not be champion next year. He will be challenged.
Correct, sir. Correct.
That is the champion.
Okay. Understood, sir. Understood.
Because certainly, in fact, I always used to ask why the voting age should be 18 and the intoxication age is 21. I really don't know. Right. So they said, don't ask. Who are you to ask? Right. We don't. But in this case, business, we are into business. We are here to make profit. So we would like to challenge. So most of the time, policy constraint will kill the champion challenger model. So business is not limited to policy constraint. If you ask your CEO what is needed to do profit, he says as long as anything is legal and moral, you do that. I don't care how you do it, isn't it?
Yes. Correct.
Absolutely. That is what the champion challenger model is. Bring somebody to challenge your current model. Right. Generally, there is not invented here attitude will be there. If you are not done that, you will not allow anything to be. I will also do the same thing. But when my team kicks me and tells me I'm better than you, I have to listen to them.
Correct.
So that culture has to be created.
Okay. Noted. Thanks.
Yeah. Plan and compliance analytics. Basically, let us say that you have to produce only 2% bad quality products is allowed, right? But you have produced 2.1%, very negligible, or 2.02%. But consistently you're producing 2.02%. There is a non-compliance.
Okay.
Isn't it? So
yes.
you have to understand attribution, the factors which can be causing this non-compliance has to be understood and removed so that you can bring it back to compliance. And more so when the compliance comes to the statutory compliance, like your total dissolvable solids, the toxic materials that can be there in the water, the pollution, the carbon footprint, blah, 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 energy consumption, all those things. If you are not compliant, you will be penalized. Probably in next 5 years, India may also get, if the industry, every industry will be set certain energy benchmarks. If they are not meeting it, the capex is the big problem for them. If they want to go for that, they have to go for a new instrument, which is energy friendly. But we say that no, you can retrofit with adaptive intelligence. Somewhere you have worked with lesser energy, identify, work with that, get the benefit from there, and that's what we say with the planned compliance. When you say compliance analytics, that is it.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Okay, then spend analysis. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, recently we had a very nice problem where one of the gentlemen whom we met, he was telling, look, Bharatheesh, we are interested to know if I purchase 10,000 kgs of a particular material, I'll be using it for next 6 months. Should I purchase it now or should I purchase it later? So that commodity pricing is a difficult thing because anything can change. A small war between two small countries may affect everything else. So we really don't know how to do that. That's another thing we should always be looking. It's at a bigger level, but small companies will be killed if there is a commodity price increase. A spend analysis is very, very important. In fact, I want everything without spending anything. Ideal, like God. God never spends anything. Everybody will go and put money into the God's place.
Sir,
Right?
I have one. Hello.
Yeah, please.
Sorry to interrupt you. I have one query related to this.
Yeah, please.
Being supply relationship management, this analytics help us to improve the relationship between supplier, seller, and buyer.
Yeah.
Actually, SRM. So it gets visible. Can you elaborate how it is going to help? Can you elaborate that, because the trust and this analytics, how it is getting linked?
Yeah, in fact, it contains two components. One is psychological, another is factual. So if you feel that your vendor, your partner is psychologically having the same attitude as yours, he will be supporting you. That selection and all those things is out of the analytics because it's pretty difficult. Humans can judge. That's where the creativity, the trust and other things should come from the procurement guy who has got some 10-20 years of experience. He can gauge them. This guy will work with me. These guys will not work with me. So that's much easier. The psychological part, the AI will not touch. Adaptive intelligence will not touch. So if we look at the factual part, we are looking at who are the average or above average kind of suppliers, not the star suppliers, who are very reliant, who are very loyal, who are very cost effective, who give lead time, who give good quality product. Establish good relation with them. And that is the ecosystem you have to develop. So supplier risk, I would like to have plan A, plan B, plan C. How do you have that plan A, plan B, plan C? You might have done something in the past that might have increased your cost, that might have increased your lead time. We would like to analyze that and say that this is likely to happen with this supplier. So normally we say that we give some supplier risk index based on a lot of factors, right? Like the tenure for which you have worked with them, the number of times the supply has been mismanaged, the quality of the product, the lead time, the cost, right? All those things will be the factors which will give the risk score. If the risk score is more than 0.8, you are in a good team. Your supply team is very good. So there will be redundancy and all those things. Even if you have got 20-30% bad people, less than 50, you have to be very, very careful. You have to be very, very careful. So everything, in fact, it may not be visible. The company may write it off and may absorb it and do all those things. But that could have been avoided if you had done the SRM. So having good SRM tracking is very essential if you are vendor-based company. If you are OEM, it's okay to some extent, but when we are just branding and we are trying to take all those things, SRM is very, very important. We know what happened to Apple when Foxconn has been attacked in India. So they never open it here. They feel that supplier risk is very high in India. Hope I answered it. Otherwise, we'll connect offline. We'll discuss it further and can go with that. So spend analysis, and we can have all this. In fact, the production plan, when you're making I have seen a lot of production scheduling softwares, master production scheduling, planning, and all those softwares are there. You have done this business for 5 years. Just give me a minute. I will switch on my power. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay. So manufacturing unit has got plenty of data and lot of latent intelligence, hidden intelligence, which may not be known to the production manager. It's not that production manager cannot implement it. In the first place, it is not known. In fact, it is the second quadrant. If you can remember, the second quadrant is the problem is unknown, but the answer is known. If the problem comes out, he solves the problem, but the problem itself is not known in production. And that with 2-3 years of data, you can extract the best production plans. Though there are some challenges in make to order kind of companies, most of the batch production job work is a little bit difficult. That has to be optimized with good plan and other things. But batch work is very easier with adaptive intelligence. Your asset utilization analytics. How will you do your predictive maintenance, anticipatory maintenance, increase the remaining useful life of the asset is another analytics where the money is hidden. These are supply chain problems. This has nothing to do with, it's a production problem, not related to me. No, it is. You are the supply chain head. Supply chain is not distribution. Supply chain is not reverse logistics. Supply chain is not demand forecasting. It is everything. Similarly, cost to manufacture. Why are we spending so much to manufacture? In fact, I will show you one of the cases where we have reduced the cost to manufacture, cost to produce by 2%. In fact, some of the case studies we are astonished why we quoted so less. We could have made money. So that's a different story, but we would like to, because it is immoral. Just because my client is getting more, we charging more is not correct. That's not the good practice. The client should say, you go to this, you go to this, and he gives the word of mouth. That's what's important. Next is in store, in your distribution, in your retailer, and all those things. Inventory optimization, inventory wastages. How many things you will remove because shelf life is gone? You will sell it at throwaway price. You will discount it, right? How are you using these resources? How do you optimize the inventory by better forecasting? In fact, currently all forecasting is based on what sales team says or what production team feels, but not based on the data. Even if it is based on the data, it is based on archaic models. I can boldly say this because I have seen best breeds of the ERP. If you want any of these things to be available in ERP, you have to pay another 2x to this. The big names, you have to pay 2x to get these things. But the realization is you can do it at 1/10 of that 2x. With only 0.2x, you can do all these things because you have the crude oil. What you need is only a refinery. Actually, people think refinery costs more. It's not. The crude oil costs more, which you already have. The data you have, it can be done. And this is what you have to carry. In your mind, you have enough data. If data is not there, some data with respect to manufacturing is there. Some data with respect to source, planning, stores, delivery, everything is there. So how do we use this data to extract where are our black holes? Black holes are you are doing as suggested, but the outcome is not as expected. People may say it never happens. In fact, I will show you it happens. All the time it happens. It's a monkey, Murphy's law. When you are least expecting it, it happens. So if you look at this, these are all the use cases where the hidden money can be, released. You get a free cash flow with adaptive intelligence. The next, we would like to look at, I think we are running short of time. I will try to do this pretty quickly. One of the things what we have done is inventory planning. So in inventory planning, generally, they will go with ABC planning, where A class items will be 20/80 kind of thing, and B class item will be 30x plus blah blah, and 50 will be, rest of the C class items will be 50 and almost nothing. Right? Now, our question was, it was based on the dollar cost. What about the volume? Can you use the volume consumption? Can you use the dollar cost? Can you use the lead time? Can you use the criticality? If the component is not available, what happens to production? Can you use multiple factors to do the inventory planning rather than planning only with dollar cost. Though some companies are going with XYZ analysis and FSN analysis, combination is not happening. So what we did was using neural networks, we took all the data and we analyzed it, and instead of ABC class, we found 7 classes where only 7% was consuming 60% of the cost, and lead time for 20% was huge. Then we asked, lead time is so much, why are you keeping this inventory here? Right? So you should have this. Why you lost this? You lost the inventory, and if it takes 3 months to get this, for 3 months you think that the production should not run. If the inventory lead time is less, why are you storing it in your warehouse? You can get it anytime. If it is 3 days, why are you having stock for 20 days unless the price increases? We wanted to ask such questions, and adaptive intelligence asks such questions and escalates it to you. It gives at us, these are anomalies. Have you observed it? Do you know this? If you say, I know this, let it run like this, it is up to you. Right? But the thing is, no sane, no good manager will do that. The moment he gets that, he knows what is to be done. We did inventory planning, and we found that instead of 3 classes, there are about 7 classes. And we found that the intermittent demand, which currently in best of the ERP is not possible to detect, we can forecast it. We will tell with 70-80% accuracy, next month there will be understock. You'll be running out of the stock, or you're overstocking it. In both cases, that's a clean trigger to the manager to hold the forecasting team responsible. Your forecast is wrong. So when forecast and the prediction, both of them align. Prediction is overstock, understock is the prediction. When it is overstock and your forecasting also shows it is overstock, you are in the right direction. That is adaptive intelligence. The next case, what we have done is demand analytics. In fact, we are using what is called as the automation learning. We run hundreds of models without human involvement, and it selects best of the model, and we have seen 5 to 10 percentage improvement compared to current models. That's what we call it as a champion challenger. If you feel that 5% is not good, that's okay, right? But whichever the manager we met, he says that prove it. When we prove it, it's in. He takes it. Already they have that mindset. Anything that is working, adapt it. Anything that is not working, throw it. Why do you need it? You don't need it. And based on that, we are recommending at the segment level. You need only this much of inventory. Already you have X and it needs plus delta X, right? Or Y and X minus Y. Your EOQ is this. Based on the EOQ, I would like to order this. But based on the cost, I would like to order something else. We would like to discuss that as recommendations. This was the second analytics where we saw a free cash flow of 5 to 8% in most of the work that we had done. And normally we try to adjust, we say that you can really measure 5 to 8% in a 100 crore turnover company for inventory. If the company inventory turnover is 100 crores, you can clearly see 5 to 8 crores being available for you for anything else than inventory. And that is where we are freeing the inventory. The next one is what I told you about the process performance, manufacturing. So basically they thought that under any load, the performance of the plant is not good. So these are good, bad and things like that. But we found that only in some areas it cannot work. Always they had the idea it must be running full capacity. In fact, I was always amused by the term overall equipment efficiency. Maximize it, maximize. What will you do by maximizing overall equipment efficiency? What you have to optimize is where you are getting better output, not OEE. And I'm always controversial with that. They say that I don't know. I'm just a mechanical engineering graduate. I have not worked in the industry. But for me, it is not a common sense. Why do you want to maximize OEE when it is not giving revenue benefit, when it is not giving cost benefit? Why do you want to do that? Rather, try to understand under what conditions if you work, your cost will be minimum, your revenue will be maximum. Work only with that. And that is law of conservation of energy. We should move towards that. And we have improved the boiler performance by 2%. The next case study is failures. Can you improve the MTTF? Can you predict where it is likely to happen? That is another thing that we are seeing, and it is possible, right? 1 month in advance, 3 months in advance, you can predict this machine is likely to fail, and your production planning becomes much better. Currently, what is happening is you assume some kind of non-availability of machine. Based on that, production planning will be done. There's nothing wrong with that. You have a system to re-engineer. When there is no system, it becomes difficult, but already you have a system. Now, if this extra predictive information, which is evidence-based, is given, won't you improve your production planning? Absolutely, you will improve your production planning. That's what we have done. So predictive maintenance, actually we predicted when it is likely to fail, how many are likely to fail, which component is likely to fail, how long will be the availability of this machine, what will be the downtime of this machine. When you predict all these things, your planning becomes much better. And that's what we are looking at. And that's what we propose when you go back, and if you think about it, have this mindset also. Supply chain is everything. And next steps, I suggest go for an early warning dashboard with some predictability. Go for performance analytics. Don't trust overall equipment efficiency has to be maximized and all those things. They're all good with good intentions. Good intention doesn't mean good outcome. If that is the case, every PS person should have been the god. It is not. They must be rich. It is not. So it is about what works, what won't. Predictive maintenance. Identify MTBR, MTTR, MTBF, remaining useful life. How do you diagnose it? What is the, can you predict what is the availability? Can you predict what will be the downtime? Can you predict what is the repeat? Everything, if you can get that, that's really good. Trend analysis and demand forecasting. As I told you, go for champion challenger modeling. Asset management analytics. For everything, when you improve the remaining useful life, you are increasing the asset. Like I told you, retrofit everything. Energy compliance can happen if we use analytics. Instead of capex now, you can make the capex ready by next 3 years by using the current asset. That exactly is what is important. Next is inventory analytics, which is very important. You should look at having no inventory, but you can get the inventory like magic wand, like Aladdin's lamp. That is ideal, but analytics is next to it. Provided you work. When work is not happening, not lot of people say that I have taken AI, but adaptive intelligence, nothing is happening. Nothing will happen. If that is the case, I will purchase one Bhagavad Gita, one Mahabharata, one Quran, and one Bible, and I will say I have purchased, no God is coming to me. Nothing happens. So the idea is having adaptive intelligence will not be useful. Having the adaptive intelligence mindset and implementing it with your creativity is the way forward. With that, I would like to close my session, and I will say yes, adaptive intelligence can improve revenue. It can reduce dependency. It can save costs. It can improve process efficiency. It can do all of this. Don't trust me. Try yourself.
When availability of material becomes scarcity, how can adaptive meta come into existence?
It tries to find alternatives. Because that is where the creativity comes, right? So adaptive intelligence is not panacea. It solves some problems. So it will not solve all the problems. When the solution is not there, adaptive intelligence will not do anything. The problem what you are telling is, I know what the problem is, but I don't know what the solution is. AI will not help you.
And one more question. Procurement, the reversal logistics on procurement, how can it be adaptive?
So now let us say that you have a product. Your competitor is, let's say you are giving installation of that product will take about 24 hours. Your competition gives in 1 hour, I will do that. And when you give that customer service, and you would like to go for, I would like to take AMC for this so that I will make sure that the problem will not come. What you are trying to do, under what conditions the reverse logistics has given minimum return from the customer. That is what you are trying to find out. You will find when there is no complaint. It is not how service is made. Customer service may be excellent, but not having the need for customer service is super excellence. And that is what AI would try to, search from your data.
Good evening. I would like to stop here. If you have any questions, I suggest that you send the questions to Nagaraj. He will get the same answer from Dr. J. Due to time concern, we cannot have a question answer session. He has already answered many questions during the presentation itself. So I'll just sum it up whatever we had in the last 1.5 hours. I think 1.5 hours is not sufficient for such a vast topic. That's what I could understand. He started with what is adaptive intelligence. That is discovering something that is not known so far. He started with that, and then why people have to be early innovators and innovators. He talked about supply chain problems, will be perfect, who are the stakeholders for supply chain functions, score model. Then he talked about money boiling supply chain technique. And he said good source is important for anything to start with. How to optimize your manufacturing for execution. He talked about SC supply chain challenges, limitations of AI, Miller's law, creativity, risk. He covered so much. Then how we have to improve our domains for future, how adaptive intelligence improves our domain expertise. Then he talked about the chairperson challenger model. Technology is not adopted. If it is not adopted, we will perish. That's what he said. Then how about increasing your ROI, visibility, butterfly effect, cash management. Learning all this leads to adaptive intelligence finally. Six Sigma Lean only historical, but you'll have to be on real time. What is the game plan for anticipation? You'll have to raise your bar. And then he talked about SE use cases. How do you extract data to find the black holes? In the use cases, he talked about inventory planning, demand analytics, process performance, failure prediction, MTBF, and he also talked about the next steps in adaptive intelligence. Really, thank you very much, sir. It was a real wonderful session. I think we should have a bigger session than this. This is not sufficient.
Mr. Balasubramanian, Jayaraman, may I make a point here, if you permit me?
Let me finish. You want to say something? I'll just.
Yeah, if you're finished, when you're finished,
yeah,
will I get a chance to speak?
I would like to thank Hemant from Butexstar. In fact, who is an institutional member who brought us this speaker. It was a wonderful session. And then I also thank the past and the current presidents, chairman, executive committee members, members of IMM, non-members, everyone who are present today for showing passions and listening to such a wonderful lecture. Thank you, one and all. Once again, Jayaraman wants to say something. Jayaraman, over to you.
Thank you.
As chairman.
Yeah. Just one point I would like to say that OE is a concept when intelligently used, again contributes to revenue. We should not have OE monitoring everywhere, but you have bottlenecks. Bottlenecks are the ones which throttle your output.
Yes.
They restrict your output. So if you are again adaptive, intelligently, if you deploy OE monitoring on bottleneck machines or bottleneck equipment or bottleneck processors, that again adds to revenue, bottom line. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, the message should go correctly to the people, especially those who are students or people who are freshers in the supply chain profession. You should know where to use what in simple terms. And that is why on top of artificial intelligence, human intelligence should always sit and make it adaptive.
Absolutely. You should override anything that is not matching with the current expectation. So humans should not be overridden by AI.
Yeah.
In fact, he said that the AI is not the final solution. It's finally human intelligence.
Yes. The combination of both.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Jay. Bharatheesh, it's a wonderful session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, one and all, everyone.
Yeah.
We'll close the session here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. ऑफ कर देना हो गया काम तो कुछ नहीं किया। 15 दिन में मॉडल ऑर्डर किए 100 का कंप्लीट। चले 124 आइटम है ना, 119 आइटम ऑलरेडी हो गए 15 दिन। वर्थ ऑफ 52.85 lakhs। टोटल की हुए हैं इस महीने 56 lakhs। 56 हम लोग का 79 हो गया, 1.3 हो गया। हम 3 कर सकते हैं, 3 टोटल कर सकते हैं। तो लोकेशन में है, तो लोकेशन में है। मैं तो वाले बोले भाई रिसर्च कर रहा हूं, दिसंबर में बोल के बेच देगा यार। बोल के तो बेचेगा ही, देखिएगा आप, बिना कुछ बोल दीजिए वो हो जाएगा। बिना बोले ना सर, फिर भी आप एलोकेट कर दिया ना, वो बेच के ही रहेगा, देखिए आप मैसूर वाला। वो एलोकेशन करने के लिए क्या बेचने के लिए ना।
तो अरे जो उसने प्लान किया और अगर प्रोक्योरमेंट हो गया, वेंडर से कुछ आ गया, उसके प्लानिंग में वो एलोकेट कर देता। हाँ, फिर प्रोडक्शन वालों को चाहिए तो फिर वो साला देता है, लेकिन कम्युनिकेशन करके उनका एक्शन प्लान ले लेता है। वो नागेंद्र मस्त करता है मैसूर, वो अपना हर एक एसक्यू जो बनाता है प्लानिंग,
मैसूर में तो रिस्पांसिबिलिटी मेनली लेता है।
केजीएफ बना सकता है और वो डील करता है, जैसे अप्रूव करता है वैसे ही करता है।
मैसूर में सब है,
केजीएफ तो है
सरकारी है पूरा, करना गरम नहीं करने के लिए केजीएफ पूरा सरकारी है।
यहाँ तक अड्डापल्ली तक आता हूँ, फिर उसके बाद बैठ जाता हूँ। चलिए मार्केट में क्या चल रहा है?
टमाटो लेना, टमाटो स्कूल में प्रोजेक्ट मिला टमाटो लेके आने के लिए, बच्चा के छुटकू को सैंडविच बनाना सिखाएगा उसको।
Thank you.